I had the great good fortune in around 1984 to be sharing a home in the Silver Lake area of Los Angeles with Joel and Ethan Coen and Sam Raimi, director of Darkman. I was working as a word processor for an organization that answered fan mail for AC/DC. Joel and Ethan were selling their first film, Blood Simple, and Sam was finishing up, I think, Evil Dead 2, reaping the benefits of that, which was Darkman. Sam knew from that period how difficult it is to get work as an actress. I think he admired my work. He also, I think, had been given a lot of kickback for the way females were portrayed in his first couple of features, and was determined to write a role for a strong female character. Hence, my character in Darkman, and hence his advocacy on my behalf with the studio to cast me in the role.
If you're not going to kill me, I have things to do.
It was a combination of Sam wanting me to be able to pay my rent, since we shared a house, him believing that I could play a feminist for him, and I think all of us benefiting from that period of our lives that was really exciting. We were getting opportunities.
I would have tried to help you. I can help you now. You don't have to hide from me anymore, Peg.
I met Sam Raimi through Joel and Ethan Coen. Joel Coen was an editor on the first Evil Dead film. He was working with an editor, Edna Paul, in New York, and she introduced him to Sam. And Sam was really influential in encouraging both Joel and Ethan to pursue raising money for their first film, Blood Simple. As a feminist 23 years ago in developing the character of Julie Hastings, I was really interested in, and I think Sam was too, she was a professional woman. She wasn't your classic ingenue in a comic strip film. He wanted her to be ballsy and brash and able to take care of herself. And unfortunately, any girl, unless you're playing the action hero, is going to end up at some point handcuffed, gagged, waiting for the hero to save her. But I felt a real obligation to my character to make sure that even though gagged with the tape, I was still not And I made a big mistake in that I didn't fully embrace the damsel in distress in a way that I wish I had in retrospect. It didn't really make any difference if I had a job. I was still the damsel in distress. Liam is an extraordinary film actor. He's even a more amazing theatrical actor. If you can think about the power he brings to film and the size, literal size that he brings to film, that on stage is phenomenal. What Darkman and Sam Raimi, Sam really benefited from was that theatricality that Liam brings to his roles, and he knows how to modulate that on film. So to work with him on film, there was a shorthand for us because we both came out of the theater. We weren't afraid of the heightened realism of it all and the kind of comic book reality, which is theatrical. He relished it. It was really fun being there. I think he enjoyed the work behind the mask maybe more than he did in front of the mask. His work was heightened because of his mask work. It was like working with a clown. He was doing clown work in the best sense of the word. On the other hand, I felt it really frustrating as an actor because I hadn't done a lot of film. And for Sam, I think why film and television is a great medium for him is because he sometimes, especially as a younger filmmaker, saw the world in terms of comic strips. And there were sometimes he just didn't understand why a human being couldn't fall down, be run over by a truck, get flat, and then pop back into 3 dimensions. And often I would have to say, I'm human. I'm a human being. I don't know how to do it like a comic strip. So I think I challenged him probably too far sometimes in the reality of working with a, flesh and blood actor. I'm working with a really renowned special effects makeup artist right now, Christian Tinsley. And he was just telling me great stories because Darkman is, he saw it when he was 15. It was a seminal film for him, as was a lot of Sam Raimi's early films because of the special effects. And he and a friend of his went to Comic-Con a couple years after Darkman and actually were able to bid on the stuntman's Darkman melted face mask and got it for $200 and took it home. And he said the two of them studied it for years. He is who this DVD is for. It should be in the honor of the special effects people who used to do it without CGI. It's all old-fashioned, good-ass makeup. And that's what Sam loves. Sam loves the process. He's always been hugely represented in Fangoria magazine, which is all the people that are interested in that kind of filmmaking. It's a real art, and it's a real art form. I went to drama school to become a professional theatrical actress. I was trained. I have a master's in the fine arts, and I intended to spend my adult life doing the great classics. Part of what films like Darkman offer me as an actor are the chance to put my stage combat skills into use. So I really enjoyed hanging from harnesses high up in the air and working with stunt people on things that I had taken classes in drama school. And often female actors don't get a chance to do that, and I really enjoyed it. I would love to do more of that now. That was part of what I loved about Darkman. I liked the stunts. Working with Liam was really great. He's a really, generous actor. He was influential in helping me be cast, and I really always admired his advocacy on my behalf because I wasn't a known commodity then. I don't think I was well cast in it, but I think that probably me being in the role made it slightly more interesting than it might have been otherwise because I didn't play her like a damsel in distress.
And now you'll kill me.
Often they ask you as an actor to bring in photographs or things from your personal life at younger ages that they can use as set dressing. And Liam and I brought in some photographs that Sam ended up using. We were sitting there kind of flicking through slides of ourselves as younger people. And that was really fun because I gave him my second grade class picture where my mother had cut my hair, like almost off my head. And that was pretty fun to see on a huge screen. Sam's relationship with a DP is probably one of the most important relationships he has on a film set because Sam created the shaky cam. He was innovative in a lot of ways for young filmmakers of his generation in their storytelling on film. And I think that it probably was a match made in heaven. Until I was approached to do this interview, I did not know that Darkman had a cult following. And then I brought it up to Christian Tinsley, the special effects makeup artist that I'm working with presently on Olive Kittredge. And he said, "Are you kidding?" Of course. And started showing me the evidence. And, I shouldn't be surprised. I think most of Sam's films have a cult following of some kind. He's that kind of filmmaker. He is a visionary filmmaker, and I think that visionary filmmakers' work often isn't as appreciated at the time it's done as it is later. I'm deeply grateful for Sam Raimi for letting, an actress such as myself at 56 look back at a time in her life where she pushed hard against almost everything he said, but now I'm benefiting from the fact that he made a film that so many people want to watch over and over and over again, and I've got a little piece of it. The next film that I did after Darkman was working with Ken Loach on his film Hidden Agenda, which was a film that took place in Northern Ireland, and it was about the Troubles, the political situation in Northern Ireland. And I met Ken Loach, who is a preeminent British filmmaker, of very politically motivated. His work is politically motivated and pretty much the exact opposite of Darkman. And I think that Ken was slightly suspicious of me because I was doing a film like Darkman. I don't think he really knew anything about Sam Raimi's films, but for me, meeting Ken while doing doing Darkman was a great, was a kind of a symbol of what my entire career has ended up being. I've had the great good fortune to do films like Darkman, which are kind of populous American art form, and these very, very small, intimate, politically charged films with, directors around the world. So it was really great to meet him during that. I picked him up. He was walking down the street in Los Angeles because he doesn't rent a car while there. And I picked him up in my car. And at the time, the seat belts would automatically go up around you. And I just remember him being very upset about that and feeling that it was a fascist car because it was taking care of him that way.